All right, we're good. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Absolute Zero's podcast. I am your host, Josh, and with me today we have Chandler,
Don't tell the government.
we have Steven,
What it do?
and for the very first time we have a very special guest, Matt Jarbo of Three Buck Theater.
Hey, how's it going?
So, if you guys are wondering, yes, we are finally back on YouTube streaming. It's been a crazy 3 months, but yeah, we're we're
Hey,
we're we're back here. So this month, all of January, we're going to be trying a new format. We're going to be trying more topical, more structured. We can do off the wall stuff if we want, but we are going to be trying to doing more topical stuff. And the first thing that I really want to talk about is Collider Video. Now,
Yes.
now, Collider Video is a channel that I've been following for the past couple of years, and most of you guys know that their most popular shows are like Movie Talk, um, Jedi Council, and Collider Live. They started with John Campia, who in himself is a really good host and YouTuber as well. But over the past week, they have been making some very bad decisions. And Matt, would you be able to elaborate
Yeah.
on those?
Mark Fernandez decided that it was he couldn't compete in the marketplace anymore. He couldn't go up against John Campia. He couldn't go against Christian Harloff, two former employees that have frankly done a better job at keeping what he was trying to do
Hmm.
going than he can. And a large part of that, and this is just my opinion, has to do with the sheer amount of shows he was trying to run and the sheer amount of talent he was keeping on to do it. It was insane. So he made the announcement, giving giving the employees literally 2 hours notice before this whole thing went live, firing 3 full-time employees, and people weren't happy. People were not happy, but it was that the thing is though they weren't happy, but that really wasn't that big of a deal. If you want to be honest about it, that really wasn't that big of a deal. What got people was the subsequent tweets by one of the employees, Jack Hind,
Oh
who
yeah.
had effectively danced on the grave of the fallen comrades, so to speak, because he was out there saying, "Oh, you wonder why Collider is moving away from movie talk and fart jokes to focus more on celebrity-driven content," which, as a full-time content creator for 5 years, I can tell you, doesn't mean anything. So that blew up in a very bad way. And then yesterday he put on a little over an hour-long live stream that was bad is the best way to describe it. Like, I think it was, I don't know if you guys saw it.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I was in your stream watching it.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. And
I
I felt
honestly
bad
have
for him.
no idea what anyone's talking about. First time I've heard about any of this.
Well, it's okay. The internet's a big place. But really what it is just he's kind of admitting he made mistakes. He's admitting where he's gone wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. What was the killer was how he handled the Jack Hines situation by saying Jack admitted he did something stupid, and then I'm just going to keep my disciplinary action private, which is not what people wanted. People wanted, I mean, there were people out there who obviously wanted head on Spike fired, like make sure he serves as a warning to everybody else, and I didn't agree with that. But at least a public apology saying like I made a mistake, I should not have said what I said. I have great respect for my coworkers or former colleagues and things like that. That's all he had to say, really. And except he didn't do it.
The,
And
the
he sorry.
the majority of the video was just him basically saying how great all the other people were. Like, go check out Roka's channel, go check out Perry off. It's like, dude, all we want is an apology to how this shit went down.
Yeah. And he didn't even do that. He didn't even really do that at all. He didn't even say what I loved was he was attempting to deflect off of
Most
that
internet
criticism.
apologies never actually say the words "I'm sorry."
Well, yeah. I think, and that's not hard. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to say, those 2 words, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's that's your ego going like, mm, 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 mm. But in this case, he starts off and he before he even diving into like the litany of people he fired, it was reading off this like obituary list that was just insane. It went on for 45 minutes. And what he was saying before that, though, was like, well, in business, you don't give anyone any notice. You just fire them. And that came across like so smug in my mind, because it was like, I know what he was trying to say and he's not wrong, but just the way he delivered it came across like this. Oh, you jackass. What are you doing?
That does sound very shitty, the way he said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He did.
yeah, because he even said that he could have given them a few days notice, but he decided to just not say anything and let them have their Christmas break, their New Year's break, and just tell them the day of or the day after New Year's, and that's just utterly shitty in my opinion too.
Well, and I mean, Campia was talking about this, and he even said, like, you should have at least given them, like a couple of weeks. Told them and said, hey, we're going to do 2 more weeks of the show, and then we're done.
Yeah. Not even, he didn't even need to do that. All he had to do was just sit there and say, yeah, let's, here's, we're going to be closing things down. We'll give you the chance to, we'll do a final show. We'll make it a big deal. And that's it. And that would have given everyone closure. This is what I talk about when I talk about the cortisol levels that come from entertainment, and how the reason why something like, let's say, Netflix binging is so popular is because of how we've been treated as consumers, where you watch something, you get invested into something, and then it gets taken away without any closure. And when that happens, it raises our cortisol levels, because the people who are very, very much, anti what happened, those who watched Movie Talk every day, felt the connection to those people. That's the whole thing with internet personalities. You create a personality, people who like you will like you, and they grow to really like you. So when that goes away, you end up really just like taking away something that people had close to them, and that hurts them physically. Actually, psychologically speaking, it hurts them physically when that gets taken away without any kind of closure. And it's just it's insane that he thought this would be a good thing. And it's not even that. Today, for example, College Humor just fired 100 employees.
Fuck, what?
Well,
I just put it in chat. They closed down, and they
no, they didn't close down. They didn't close down. They're still operational, but they fired 100 employees when the parent company pulled out all of its money. They're only leaving 10 to 15 employees to keep that entire operation going.
God, the new decade's off to a real banger of a start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all rolled a fucking 1 for 2020. So.
How can I can't even wrap my head around that. How only like 10 or 12 people can keep a huge thing like College Humor going right now. Like,
to be fair, College Humor's been on a downslide for a while.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, I haven't watched any College Humor content since like Google was a dude.
Well, see, and the thing with that, and I just tweeted this out before we started going, is we're in a situation right now where the viral boom of 2010, of the 2010s, is now over. Interestingly enough, in the first week of 2020.
Yeah.
Because, when I used to work and live in LA, I moved to LA about 10 years ago. I lived there for close to 3 years. I did a bunch of social media stuff. I worked on some attempts at viral content. And back then it was everything go viral, go viral, go viral, make it big, get web series, web shorts, YouTube is this new thing really that's just now being able to give us earnings and all of this stuff. And everyone there was losing their shit over trying to go viral. I got brought into a low budget $4 million film that was shot in Russia. And they're like, we need this to go viral. And I'm all like, what's your budget? And they're like, what do you mean? You click clack on keyboards and make it go viral. And I'm like, that's not how this works. What's your budget? Because
you do this free for Mother Russia.
No, you do this for $12 an hour, and working on stuff. And the thing was, the movie, it ultimately, it didn't go theatrical. Not here in the States, at least. They released it in Russia, made some money. It was directed by the guy who did Die Hard 2 and Cliffhanger, Rennie Harlan.
What was the movie name?
It's called Devil's Pass. It's you ever heard of the Dyatlov Pass incident? From
Yeah,
like
actually,
that whole urban legend, right? The 9 skiers disappear and like they're found like irradiated, so to speak.
yeah.
This is a sequel to that,
Hmm.
and it's a point of view found footage, which is like my favorite genre, and it's like dealing with urban legends, which is like my second favorite genre. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to work on this movie, and it was a bad movie because Rennie Harlan doesn't understand shooting point of view found footage.
Yeah, I just googled it. I just googled that movie. It's got a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. And
Yeah,
25%
yeah.
on
There's a
Metascore.
shot. I'm not kidding. There's a scene in the
That's
movie
a
where
big oof.
it's pretty bad. Like they brought me in to watch the movie. They specifically brought me in like into their office in Sherman Oaks, California, and like they put me up in the boardroom and like got me snacks and they're like, okay, we're screening the movie just for you, just for me, literally just for me, right? And I had just come from a temp job where I was literally in the ghetto at a school teaching teachers how to set up laptops and stuff. And so I'm like, I got to get to Sherman Oaks because I got to screen me a movie. Like that's LA life for you. It goes really kind of crazy like that. And so I get over there and I'm watching this movie, and then they ask me, okay, what do you think about it? And I was honest, which was my first problem. I was honest, and that was terrible. And I told them everything I felt wrong with the movie, and then they fired me the next day.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah, they're like, well, they called me up and they go like, well, we decided we're going to go a different direction and not go into the whole like viral marketing aspect of it. And I'm like, that's perfectly fine. And it wasn't until like 2 years later I saw the movie on Netflix finally, and I'm like, yeah, no, they made the right call here.
Never be honest in LA.
Never be honest in LA. And that is part of what happened with College Humor. This whole thing of them doing like the Adam Ruins Everything, that's been a successful TV series.
I cannot fucking stand that guy.
Him and
Any way, shape,
Is
or
it because
form.
he just brings the
He is
truth out,
a-
Chandler?
No, because he's an irredeemable shitheel.
Truth in air quotes.
he brings a lot of it. Yeah, we've followed each other on Twitter for a couple of years now. We met one time, I think, 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, and he was a nice guy. But I mean, it's like that show was popular. They've done a couple other things that were popular, but at the end of the day, it's like Funny or Die. When's the last time Funny or Die was on anyone's radar?
Shit, I haven't thought about
2013.
that in a while.
Yeah, like look at what's this Crackle. Sony has Crackle.
Oh yeah, Crackle.
Yeah.
What are the 3 movies they put out? They did 2 Dead Rising movies and Joe Dirt 2.
Joe Dirt.
They did.
Don't insult Joe
They did
Dirt.
Joe Dirt 2 with David Spade.
I did not
Don't
know they
insult
made that
Joe Dirt
movie.
They did. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's terrible. The first one to me is
Oh,
a
yeah.
classic, so it's a
Joe
classic.
Dirt 1 is the greatest. Quite possible. It's by far the greatest David Spade movie.
Yeah, it is very
Because
much
that's
so.
not a tremendous list, but
Well, no, it's really not.
I
but,
watched that movie 9 times.
it's like Joe Dirt and then PCU, and but really it's like they
need to be on that table, sir.
all of these companies, they all tried, like they all tried to like create all this content. They all tried to do everything that they could, and the money came in from venture capitalists who saw YouTube and short form content as being the future. And for a while it did. But the biggest problem here, and this is true, is Facebook. Facebook fucked these companies, right? And I mean bad. Because Facebook has been trying to, capitalize on or, recreate YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they did this by going, oh, look at all the video views we get. Well, you know how they value that metric, right? How they calculate that? Right. For those of you at home who don't know, I'll give it to you. On YouTube, it's a view is 30 seconds. If you watch for 30 seconds, it counts for a view.
Yeah.
Right. On Facebook, it's 3 seconds, meaning in the time that it takes for you to see a video that auto plays on your feed, you to kind of register what it is you're looking at and then hit the stop button. That's 3 seconds. That's a view. And they inflated this and they sold ad buys as a result of it. They inflated these numbers for years. They got caught, and just today it came out that they had to pay $40 million
Ooh.
to make up for this. And then we find out College Humor is going down. Remember, that was a big viral thing on Facebook too, right? Get all of the millennials together.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely crazy.
Yeah, this is the problem with the internet today. People just want to consume and don't understand what goes behind it and what actually you need to do to make something quality content.
Yeah.
I'm willing to trade the Pauls for College Humor. Can we like?
I'm willing to
sacrifice
trade the
them
Pauls for $20 and a hand job. You know what I mean? Like just. I'm not even the hand job. Screw the hand job. I will get rid of the hand job. That's off the table now.
How
Just
$20.
$20.
How are things like Collider and College Humor going the way of the dodo, but the Pauls are still there?
Well, again, it's all. I mean, even that's going to go away too, right? Like the cycle is going to change. The Pauls effectively were able to get in on a younger audience. That audience is now growing up, and they're not, as far as I know, they're not necessarily growing. They've got their audience who likes them because they put out content every single day. This is the problem.
Yeah.
They put out their content all the time, and but the thing is, it's slickly edited. I give them credit for how their production process, because it's like they have a camera guy who shoots everything, and then he goes and he edits it that day. When Logan Paul made a comment, he's like, I put out 17 minutes worth of television quality content every single, or a 17-minute television show every single day. He felt, I think it was like in regards to some kind of entitlement thing, but he puts out that kind of content. I just talk on a couple of videos a day. Like the level of investment is different, but this is the culture that YouTube has created, and the algorithm is the reason why.
God damn, the algorithm. Oh my god. Yeah, it's YouTube is really, really screwed with us and how we consume content, to be honest.
The algorithm is definitely something that they need to at least hint at what it is, because a lot of channels are dying just because they're like, what is the algorithm? Like, what do we do in order to get put into the algorithm? And they're like, oh, we can't tell you.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing, and the algorithm honestly is what I think is causing Collider Video to die, because they said that they're moving away from the shows and going to go to the celebrity videos, which
the deep fakes that they've been doing.
Deepfakes are okay.
Yeah.
I liked Comic Booked. It's an okay show, but besides that, Collider really doesn't have anything else going for them, in my opinion. Video wise, that is.
Well, they're doing the for your consideration, which I understand why, but that's more of a local thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not meant to. That's an ArcLight sponsored thing. ArcLight is not a nationwide cinema. I believe it's only in LA. Maybe it's in New York or Boston.
I've never heard of it.
Well, yeah, it's a very nice theater. It's very nice. But they do that. They have that collection. They have that sponsorship with them where they put on those for your awards considerations. They bring out the cast, and they this is during award season, and this is when these I guarantee you they put that together because Collider, using its connections, was able to contact the studio and go, hey, listen, we want to do a screening. Can you bring out Tarantino and Brad Pitt and DiCaprio for 20 minutes for a Q&A? Have them show up at the end. This is when they got to be there. 20, 30 minutes later, they're done. They go home. Mm-hmm. And then that's where they, and you heard him say this yesterday, that they want to delve into more of the celebrity driven content. I'm like, dude, that's only for LA, and maybe New York, and maybe Austin, maybe Vancouver, British Columbia. It's just not for the average person.
Yeah. Not everyone cares about it. Yeah.
The people they're trying to curate are like in LA, but the average movie watcher are people that are not from Los Angeles. And that's the problem, is like, that's what people like movie talk. It was just people BSing about movies every day for 30 minutes, and people got used to it, and they liked it, and they liked the way that it was presented. And then Campia built it up, and then he left, and then he did it better.
Much better. Yeah. So, and speaking of movies, I think we can go to our next topic, which would be the New Mutants trailer, the new Mutants trailer, if I'm being specific. So yeah, this actually came out a couple days ago, and without anyone really teasing it or anything, this is something that we've been waiting for the past 3 years. New Mutants by Fox is going to be a horror style a horror style movie in the X-Men universe, and to be honest, it looks really interesting, and I just really hope it does come out in April. So, Chandler, did you check out the trailer? What are your thoughts on it?
I really didn't notice any differences between the last one, really.
I mean, the
it has
Soul
been
Blade
years
was kind of a
since that last one came out, so I probably don't remember it that well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. Don't get me wrong. Just like groovy, horror mutants. Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah. Really interesting. Matt, you were saying something?
Oh, well, I think it's I remember when the first trailer dropped, and it was exciting because it was like, oh, they're going horror, and like, is it going to be rated R? Is it going to be all these things? And it just seemed like a cool concept. And after the success of Logan and Deadpool, like, yeah, no, experiment. Let's do this. And then what is it, like about 5 weeks later, we got the first reports of the Disney buyout of Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, well, and then all of a sudden you hear like, oh, New Mutants is being delayed. And you're like, oh, no, it's never coming out. Or they're going to drop it to Hulu. So I'm surprised that they're putting it out in theaters. I really am. They didn't do any reshoots on it. This is what was shot. And it kind of feels like a bit of a pump and dump. But the trailer was good enough to get people talking about it in the positive. And I think just like kind of the urban legend nature to the movie is going to really help put butts in seats. But then the question becomes, is it going to be part of the MCU, or is it going to just be its own thing? And I think that is the decision. Feige, that's the most important aspect. If it's part of the MCU, then it will do better. Let's be fair. If it's part of the MCU, more people will go see it. If it's not part of the MCU, they'll wait for Hulu or Disney Plus.
Yeah. Definitely.
Fucking Dark Phoenix.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the movie. It's like this was shot before Maisie Williams was super big in Game of Thrones. So like someone just came to the door. So yeah.
Yeah, UPS is outside.
Got Anya Taylor-Joy playing Rasputin. Ileana Rasputin, Maisie Williams as Rain Sinclair. So yeah, it's an all-star cast, and just seeing them younger as opposed to what they look like now is gonna be pretty interesting. Because this was shot when they were a lot younger.
Well, if I recall, they shot it in around April of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's only been, it's been less than 3 years since they shot it, so it's not that much different. I mean, if you look at Charlie Heaton in that trailer and you look at Charlie Heaton in Stranger Things 3, they look kind of the same. Maisie Williams looks a bit different. She's lost some weight since then, and Anna Taylor-Joy, nothing that a wig can't fix, but they're not doing any reshoots. So there's nothing that's going to be brought in there.
And I thought that it was being delayed to do reshoots, because that's what I heard.
That's what they kept saying it. And I got into this with a friend of mine the other night because he was like, oh, there was reshoots. I'm like, there were no reshoots. Find me one article that says reshoots happened. Not that reshoots are going to potentially happen, because that was all from the end of May. I think around May 29th of last year is when we started seeing articles coming out talking about that. But in the meantime, you can't find any article that talks about reshoots actually having taken place.
Yeah, reshoots have all been like rumor and speculations. I haven't seen any confirmed. It's all been delayed because Fox was bought out, and I think it was because they didn't really have any confidence in it.
Well, it was not so much they didn't have confidence. Fox had confidence in it, but Disney. Everything to them is synergistic. Mm-hmm. It all has to be in line with the brand. It has to be in line with how they're going to proceed. They're going to move forward. The $71.3 billion merger. I'm sorry. I've said for now 2 years, it had everything to do with X-Men and maybe Simpsons, but mostly X-Men, because they realize that down the road they're going to be able to turn those properties into something that's going to gross another 20-30 billion dollars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
Disney. I would probably expect, in the next few years to see the first MCU X-Men movie.
Well, according to Feige, he said, and this is where it gets weird, is he says that they have moved it, like it's a 5-year plan. They've got phases 4 and 5 planned out, but we're not going to see X-Men until after like 5 years.
Yeah, part of me doubts that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
but there's wording there to listen to, right? There's wording, because at Comic-Con, at the end of his panel, he says there's even things we didn't get to talk about, like Fantastic Four and mutants.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say X-Men.
Yeah.
He said mutants, because I think they're not going to introduce the X-Men right away.
X-Force. They
Yeah.
teased it.
Well, no, X-Force is dead, according to like most people. X-Force is pretty dead right now. And but because that was supposed to be Deadpool 3 effectively. So now they're going back to the drawing board and they're doing Deadpool 3, with Ryan Reynolds and those guys. But this time around, I think they're going to be introducing it slowly. I mean, there's rumors that it's going to take place in what is it? Like Doctor Strange 2 is going to have Professor X make an appearance.
I could see
Oh my
that,
God.
since it
I
is,
haven't heard
Doctor
that, but
Strange
that
in the
would be-
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see them bringing in mutants through a multiverse style instead of them actually being in the core cinematic universe. Unless they just want to get weird with the Inhumans and actually make that a thing.
Can we
Again.
please have a good Inhumans property? The show was terrible.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
massive,
that's
yeah.
that was all. That was a huge FU to Feige.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a movie, then they turned it into a TV show, and TV show is whose territory again? I can't remember.
Mine.
Nah, yeah. Inhumans was a disaster, and so yeah, I'm really looking forward to New Mutants. Really looking forward to it. It's supposed to be April 3rd, so
I think it'll come out. Yeah, it'll come out.
let's hope
I mean,
let's hope it's not an April Fool's joke.
I mean, we have more on this than we have on Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
But I'm actually really glad that got pushed back.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
because I loved Godzilla King of the Monsters. I loved it. And it was, I had so much fun with it. And this one, pushing it again on a Memorial Day weekend is just a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely the best Godzilla movie that they've done since the 1999 version.
I stand by the project version. That movie's fucking great.
All right, I think that's all we have on that topic. So let's move on to PlayStation 5. Really, the only big thing that came out of PlayStation 5 was the reveal of the logo, which looks in line with what PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 2 came out with. So, I mean, you guys have any real big thoughts on this? Like, what are your hopes and dreams for it?
I want every PS1 game remastered. If I'm
Yeah,
not playing some sort of Gex or Croc, I'm not buying it.
that would be nice.
I don't care about anything before the PS4. Maybe PS3, PS1,
Dude,
PS2
PS2
games.
PS2 is the greatest console ever released.
PS2.
I'm
PS2
including the
was a
PS3.
fan.
I'm including the PS4. I'm including all Xboxes. PS2 was the pinnacle of fucking games.
Nah, it
They
wasn't.
didn't look great, but they were the fucking. That was the
It
crux.
had games,
PS2
but
beat the shit out of Xbox, the original Xbox. Even the 360 for a while. PS2. PS2 was the fucking
I mean,
best.
Well-
there's a reason why the PS2 is the most sold console in history.
Yee.
well, it's because of a DVD player, and it was cheaper than the cheapest DVD player in Japan at the time. So yeah, there's factors that went into it. But if you really look at the games are okay. But what
Games are
sold
great.
the PS2 was the DVD player. It was really about
I
it.
never used that fucking DVD.
That was
See,
what it was
that- yeah,
selling
that-
for.
That's
It
the
was-
thing. I never used the DVD player in it.
Because the
I know a
DVD
lot of
mechanics
people
were
who did.
shit.
But I will say they did
Played
have
that
some
for
really good
games.
multiplayer. I love SOCOM. That was great back in the day.
Now, see, I never played the multiplayer on there.
Oh yeah, no, I bought the adapter and I was playing it and whatnot. It was fun. I mean, like there was a because it came with the headset, so the voice chat was great. I mean, it was
I don't trust anyone who never barreled through Attack and the Power of Dreams on the PS2.
What?
Staff of Dreams, sorry.
What?
what is that one?
The hell are you
Attack
talking
and the
about?
Power of Juju 2. I hate you all.
I think Chandler's high.
Is that like a JRPG or something?
No, it's a fucking Kronk's in it. It's Lunk. There's Luck.
Is it a platformer?
No, it's fucking well,
I
kind of.
don't think that game's real.
Everyone, Google Attack and the Power of Juju.
Oh, it's a tack game.
I'm actually
Isn't
gonna look
that
Yeah, Attack
Is it based
2
off that
and the Staff of
cartoon?
Dreams. No, the cartoons give off the games.
I think
Okay, I am now
I've seen the cartoon,
100%
I've never heard
lost.
of the games. I don't know what
Attack
you're
2,
talking about. Chandler's
Staff
high.
of Dreams. Attack 3, the Great Juju Challenge. No one played the other ones.
Chandler's high.
Oh, this
What
game.
have I told you, Chandler, about making up games?
Oh, okay, this game.
I'm not smart. I'm not creative enough to make up that fucking.
I don't really think it was that great a game.
It's a bad game,
I
but it was
don't know
also
what you're talking
amazing.
about.
In the immortal words of Sarge, you're making that up.
No,
You're
he's,
making it
he's
up.
not making it up. I got it on stream. It's weird. Yeah,
Attack of the Staff of Dreams.
it's weird. I'm
PS2's the greatest
actually
fucking
looking
console.
forward to like.
And I say that while playing Skyrim as we talk on my Xbox One.
I'm looking forward to like more high def games. I wonder if they're gonna be including VR into PlayStation 5.
I'm assuming they would. I mean,
I hope I can use my VR with it.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. I mean, really, if it's based on the same architecture as the PS4, which is why they're able to do the backwards compatibility, then I'm sure that will play as well. I just want to get, what was that, 0 Hour? That one?
Yeah.
I hear that's good.
I am hoping.
I want to play Borderlands
Or-
VR.
I am hoping that it is fully backwards compatible because I want to play the old Harry Potter PS2 game.
Fuck yeah! Okay, so for the PS1, there was these things called magazines for you young people.
Yes,
Gaming
Chandler,
magazines?
remember PlayStation Magazine?
No. That came with demo discs.
Yes,
There was
Chandler.
one disc with like 8 demos on it for the PS1. I don't remember what this game is called, but it's some kind of cell-shaded fucking emo as fuck haunted mansion game that I never beat, and it was the greatest thing in the world. Also, the original Crash Bandicoot. I know they remade it. Fuck you. Give me the original.
You just want the original.
God,
I want the
remember the one that came with that Matrix Reloaded demo on there or whatever it was?
Ooh.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Enter the Matrix.
Yes, no.
I had that fucking Matrix game, dude. That game was awesome.
That was a fun game.
It was like PS2. It was a Matrix game.
No, it was they did like two, there's 2 Matrix games. There was one with Neo, and then one with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, the one
Right.
with Neo is the one I'm thinking of.
That game was fucking awesome.
I remember playing the demo. I was like, this game.
You're just
fucking
running
rocks.
around shooting. Oh,
Yeah.
no, dude. Playing that actual game, just the gun controls and the shooting, it was all cool as fuck.
I mean,
Bullet time was neat.
I'll give it this. It was better than the Bourne Identity on PS3.
Yeah.
I forgot that game came out. I remember hearing about that game.
I played the demo and I was just like, this game. I was sitting there playing the demo and I was like, what the fuck is this game? Like, I would press the correct button and it wouldn't register, and I'm like, what the fuck? What janky ass game is this?
Oh my, yeah. There's like this. What I'd like. Okay, if the PS5 could do like a 4K upres or some crap, or just remasters. I would take remasters at this point because the remasters of Resident Evil games have been pretty good,
Mhm.
and a lot of other remasters have been pretty good. Give me Siphon Filter remastered. Give me the Siphon Filter games remastered with a better control scheme. I mean, Sony Bend just did Days Gone, so like Siphon Filter's their baby. Give me Siphon Filter, goddammit.
Give me the remaster of the Rugrats game from PS1.
You're a bad person, but also yes.
Why am I a
No.
bad person? That was a great game. All right.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't they just they just re-released a remastered Aladdin and Lion King, didn't they?
Yeah,
They
did.
did?
And those are both fun.
Yeah,
Those
they
are
did.
fun
It's like-
games.
It's like $20, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, I have to find
Yeah.
those.
And it's
So,
the
like, they could
Aladdin
do
and
these-
Lion King games. They released it around the time
The
that
PS1. The PS1 had a fucking like open world Mega Man game, like where you can like jump off cars and shit.
I vaguely remember that.
I
Can I
don't
hear
know
me?
what you're talking about,
Hello?
Chandler. I think you're making
Ah.
sense.
Okay. Fuck! Stop it! No! Fucking! God damn it! I'm not making.
Are you in Skyrim?
What if I?
No, it's an
told
open
you-
Mega Man Legends. Suck
What if
me
I
off.
told you about making up games, Chandler?
I never beat that game because I got to the point where you can jump on cars. That's all I just disrupted traffic like
No.
a menace.
Number one.
Also,
game I wanna
Monster
see-
Hunter or Monster Ranch, something like that.
Number one game I want to see on PS5: Zork, the original Zork.
The original Spyro the motherfucking dragon.
Just
Digimon
give
1
me
3.
text-based RPGs. That's what the PS5 is going to be about.
We're all just regressing into text based. All right.
Just
I'll be
text-based RPGs.
I'll be down.
Give me the Amazon Alexa version of Skyrim.
that existed, right?
Yeah, it's real.
Like,
Yeah, I played that
I actually really want to play it. I have an Amazon Alexa. I just
It's
haven't.
not bad, dude. It's interesting.
Yeah, like I thought about that too. Like, what if they had that? What if there's an actual application, right? Like, what if they actually had audio-based
Kind of like
RPGs
D&D.
that you could? Yeah. What if you're like stuck in traffic and you have your phone up and you're like, all right, go left, and so and then it plays out like a fucking voice commanded Zork.
Kind of like the fucking zombie run app I saw, where it was like you put in your neighborhood and then it will you put in headphones and it does the sounds of zombie hordes behind you,
Oh yeah.
and you have to run a certain speed in order to stay away from them.
Zombie Run or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why
Oh,
not,
the
right?
headphones
I
are
think
upside down. No wonder they're.
What does this podcast sound like in reverse, Chandler? Since you're listening,
Don't worry
to
about
All right. Well, moving on from PlayStation.
I'm not done reminiscing about Xbox.
Moving
Or
on from
PlayStation
PlayStation
games.
5.
102 Dalmatians rescue the puppy.
Jesus Christ!
Let's
I'm just looking at a list of PS1 games.
let's move on to the future of the year.
If I see a game I remember it, I'm still going to shout it out.
Okay, that being movies we're looking forward to this year. I can think of 2 off the top of my head. No, sorry, 3. 1917, The Invisible Man, and Black Widow.
God damn, there's a lot more
Okay.
PlayStation 1 games. than I remember.
So for me, I have 5.
Mhm.
All 5. Number 1, or I'm gonna do it in reverse. Number 5 is
A
Tenet.
Bug's Life. I remember
I
that.
have no idea what the fuck that movie's about.
That's about them
Um,
messing with time in reverse order.
It's Nolan.
yeah.
so-
yeah,
you know.
it's Nolan. I liked Interstellar. I liked Inception. I like Nolan movies in general. It might not be good, but who knows? I'm willing to give it a shot. Number 4 is Bad Boys 3.
Yes.
He,
Number 3 is Black Widow. Number 2 is Doolittle. And
see, Doolittle gives me no reason to be excited.
and then number 1 is the Godzilla versus King Kong movie, which I don't know if you guys saw. They did recently. They revealed the villain for that movie yesterday.
Mecha
Is it?
Godzilla.
Oh, are they doing another one of those
Mechagodzilla.
ARGs?
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I had
I
a
was
feeling it was
right?
gonna, I had a
They
feeling it was going to be
revealed
Mechago.
They revealed it at a toy show in Hong Kong.
I was right.
Are
I was
they-
just guessing. I was bullshitting there. Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, it's-
Are they doing
It's
another
Mechagodzilla.
alternate reality game for this one?
Mecha Godzilla as the villain for that. Actually, that would work.
I mean, if they're going to end the MonsterVerse with this movie, so, which I think they
mean-
are. If Warner's
The thing I love about these movies is like they've always had that like hidden websites and shit you can look into, like the fucking in the Kong Skull Island, the fucking organization they work for.
Monarch.
I didn't see it. Yeah, that's got real websites and shit.
Yeah, they did a lot of work on the viral stuff.
There's ARGs.
Well, when I was working on that movie I mentioned earlier, that was my plan. I wanted to create ARGs. I wanted to create this stuff. That's why I was like, "What's your budget?" You know, like if we could make this thing work, but I'm not a web designer. I could develop it, but I would need help in the creative. You know, and the design. And they're like, "We have no budget." And they're like, "Can you make a Tumblr blog?" And I'm all like, "Sure." And I did. I made a mock-up. It was terrible. They showed it to Rennie Harlan, and his response, and I'm not kidding you, he came back with, "It looks like a dentist's website." I was like, "I told you guys, I don't know how to do this."
Well, that's interesting, Mechagodzilla, because I know in the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters, they hinted at least Mecha King Ghidorah,
Yeah.
or
So
at least the return of
from
Ghidorah.
from the photos of the toy that was shown off at the toy fair. This is an official toy from the movie, designed from the movie. Apparently, it looks like he's going to have like these claws that kind of spin on the ends of his hands, so they're not.
His drill will pierce
real
the
hands.
heavens.
They're just like 3 pokers that spin.
Gurren hands.
I mean, Mechagodzilla has always been weird conceptually wise in the past, so I mean, it's not.
All I care about in this movie is if I see Gamera. I didn't see the last 2, but I heard there was no giant flying turtle god. If this movie has Gamera, I'll go see it.
There was no Gamera in King of Monsters, or I don't think.
No.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
I know
He's the
Mothra was
best.
in King of Monsters.
All I wanted to
Mothra was.
see, I always thought the fucker from the first Godzilla was Mothra. Then I'm like,
no,
it's just some other moth butterfly. And I'm like, fuck you. He has one famous enemy, and if it's Mothra. I know they're all famous, but Mothra is arguably the most well-known.
Okay, so why I'm looking forward to
want to see that turtle.
The Invisible Man is this is a thriller movie about some dude who is invisible and he just psychologically torments a girl.
What a dickhead!
So, if you ask me, this looks like they're going to basically try and make Unsane 2.
Or Hollow Man, starring Kevin Bacon, which is kind of what I took from that trailer.
Also, I don't know.
God damn, I love Kevin Bacon.
Blumhouse with Black Christmas really burned quite a bit of grease I had with them.
Oh yeah, no, Black Christmas is dog shit.
You took this beloved, movie IP.
We need to asterisk that. We need to asterisk that because the original's great. The first remake, great. The one where it's like incest and shit from the 2000s, that was garbage. Oh my god, that was.
Well, I mean, the one that they released last year was garbage.
The hell was the one?
Like this has nothing to do with. This has nothing to do with the.
Oh, the one with like the sorority sisters and shit.
Yeah, it's like this has nothing.
Like in the movie that's basically men bad.
It's not just that, but it's like this is.
It's also not what the story we've been told 1,000 times.
There's like a couple of references to the original movie, and then like.
Do they even leave a present under the tree for Billy?
And like, there's a
if they don't, things go sideways.
And they
Billy fucks you up,
like from the original movie, and it never happens. And it's just like, okay, like you could have called this something else.
The one before this one, where he takes a cookie cutter to human flesh and then makes flesh cookies and eats them with his daughter sister, is really fucked up. That's a bad movie. That's the plot. I'm not kidding.
I told you about making shit up.
All right, here's another one I was thinking of. Warner Brothers animated Scoob movie.
Yes.
The what?
The Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe is upon us.
The Scooby-Doo, the animated Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, why the fuck did you just say?
Because that's the name of the movie, Scoob.
No, it's called Scooby-Doo.
It's called Scoob.
It's called Scoob. Yeah.
I don't like that instantly. I love the trailer. Why the fuck are they revealing the Blue Falcon, the least known Hanna-Barbera creature?
Because why is Captain Caveman going to be in the movie? No one knows, except for the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe is real.
Captain Caveman's going to be in this movie?
Captain Caveman's in the movie.
They're going real ambitious. Look, there's a way to do this. Captain Caveman. This is too ambitious. They're fucking Justice Leaguing it. One Scooby-Doo movie, a good one that isn't the live actions. Even though I will fight to the death that those movies are great. Standalone, great story, great fucking animation, characters we all know. Little sprinkles of the Hanna-Barbera shit in there. Throwing in like Blue Falcon, one.
I think it'll be interesting.
It's a rental for
Overestimating
me.
how many
It's a
people
rental.
remember these characters.
I'm definitely gonna go see it.
I'm gonna see the hell
on
out of it. My
opening
headphones
night.
dead.
Last one that I'm really looking forward to is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah, that is this year, isn't it?
Yeah, coming out July 10th.
Gotta say, was not a fan of the trailer.
It
I'm
had a indie style feel, more of a homage to the first two. So I mean,
I didn't hate the trailer. The only thing that I was disappointed from the trailer was no Ghostbusters theme song.
that
was all it was missing.
I think that will come
Are you
in the next
referring to the
trailer.
Fall Out Boy remix?
No.
No, whatever.
No, we need to be. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. They need to remix it, but it needs to be Miley Cyrus.
Shut your bloody mouth and leave this place. Why would it ever be Miley Cyrus?
Ghostbusters, but it's Wrecking Ball.
No.
No,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm really looking forward to Afterlife. Like, I think it will do really well with fans, new fans, and in theaters.
I hope so. It still, for me, doesn't beat the height of Tremors 7.
Wait, hold on. Am I looking at this right? July 3rd, Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Don't.
Yep.
There is a sequel to Minions coming out. No one asked for
What?
this.
No one asked for
I
Minions
was-
either.
You could have left me in my happy little world of not knowing that. But you chose not to. You chose to spread pain today. And I won't let you forget that.
That is, I'm looking at it again. I'm looking at the stream right now, and Bob's Burgers, the movie. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah! What? What the fuck? Say those words again. I'm happy now.
Bob's Burgers, the movie.
Explain.
It's
July
Bob's
7th.
Burgers.
It's the movie.
Bob's
It's-
Burgers, but a movie.
Yeah,
More
it's coming
detail.
out.
And
Yeah,
a
it's
musical.
coming out. It's coming out this year.
On
Which
screen?
is weird.
Like
Because
big
I heard
screen?
it was canceled.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
announced. It was
Oh.
announced like 2018.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so happy. I didn't know about any of that.
Yeah.
I forgive you for the Minions thing.
That and the Impractical Jokers movie that's coming out next month.
The fucking what?
Chandler.
What? I'm
Yes,
allowed to be
there's
excited, fuck.
There's an Impractical Jokers movie coming out like February 21st, I want to say.
Big screen, small screen,
Big
true
screen.
TV, what are we talking?
It's an actual movie. It's theatrical release, and it's
Oh my
basically a full feature-length movie episode.
Oh my god, I'm gonna see the fuck out of that. Fuck, I don't know why. Whenever I'm home to see my parents or if I visit family, that show is always on. I've probably seen every episode at this point because it's like when True TV runs Impractical Jokers, it's never 2 episodes. It's a half a day's worth of episodes. They show you 3 seasons in one go.
I'm still looking at the stream right now. Escape Room 2? Who the fuck asked for Escape Room 2?
People who loved escape rooms and also that first movie. I didn't see it, but I love escape rooms. I can't imagine
Hunter,
many
is
people.
that-
See it.
Monster Hunter, is that an adaptation of the games?
Yep, by Paul
What?
W.S. Anderson, who did Resident Evil.
Don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
It looks cool. It's
be good.
it's Mila Jovovich and Tony Jaa fighting monsters. Like, fuck it, turn your brain off. Just go watch it.
It's most likely going to be a thing of just like
I'm gonna go see a rat guard on
turn
big
it off,
screen.
go watch them break monsters' limbs off with swords.
I'm gonna be sad if there's not those little cat monkey butlers.
Yeah, those
You
have
mean
got to
the-
be
I don't know
in
what
there.
they're
You mean the fuck, I forgot their names.
I've only ever played Monster Hunter World because the one for the DS for some reason didn't have an English translation button.
Palicos.
Yes. There you go. But yeah, the fucking Monster Hunter 3DS World game. I don't know what I did, if it was me or what. Every time, A, it was in Japanese, so I couldn't figure out anything. B, there's no instructions. they don't tell you what to do anything, even if it is in English. And see, it's a bad game. But Monster Hunter World, the fucking Xbox one, I played that.
Oh
Groovy game.
shit! Did any of you guys see the remake of Murder on the Orient Express a year or two ago? They got the sequel, Death on the Nile, coming out this October.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Halloween Kills.
I actually really liked the remake, so I'm looking forward to this.
I like watching Johnny Depp die. And it's been so long since I've fucking learned the plot of that book. I actually was like, okay, they all probably did, but what's going on here?
Honestly, I need to watch it, but I heard that there's going to be a sequel or
I was
spin-off
the
to
only
Knives
person in
Out.
the theater. Yes.
And I'm looking forward.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
my
I think that basically means that his Star Wars trilogy is dead.
Probably.
Which is fine.
Hopefully.
If
No
I
one,
might-
no one is
Give him
crying.
more Knives Out. No one wants more Ryan Johnson. We want more Ryan Johnson.
I
Knives
want
Out.
more Knives Out. I loved Knives Out. I thought it was a great movie.
I haven't seen it.
That
yet.
movie was.
It's,
It was good.
No,
Yeah.
Don't
no
spoil
spoilers, but
anything.
it's-
He still needs.
But the
Yeah,
single
no.
worst thing I can say about this movie, and it's a great comment, Daniel Craig's accent at times is spotty. That's the worst thing I could say about that movie, and I love his accent.
Mhm.
I had nothing but a good time with that.
I'm still looking at the stream. Uncharted is December 18th, 2020. I have not heard this.
No, that's not. That's off. But they just lost the director. They just lost another director. They had
Yeah.
Travis Knight. Remember, they had Dan Trachtenberg. Then it was Travis Knight, and then Travis Knight just left. And because Sony wants to shoot the Spider-Man 3, and they want Uncharted shot first. It's like they want to rush Uncharted through.
Oh no.
And
Are they still thinking about Holland as?
Holland is still signed up for Drake, and fucking
That's
Mark
a
Wahlberg.
terrible
is
fucking
Sully.
decision.
Mark Wahlberg is Sully.
That one I don't know about that. But
Mark Wahlberg
Holland is a young
is
Drake.
good.
No,
I'm sorry. I like Tom Holland as young Drake.
I like
okay
him,
with
but
as
he
young Drake.
still looks 9.
But I don't want I want Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would love
that short they
The
made.
short they made was amazing.
Yeah, and why
So-
why Sony
Or
is
Jared Padalecki. Winchester.
Who?
I'm
I'd watch
sorry.
that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but they're clearly looking for the wrong director. I know who can direct this movie because it would fit so well.
Who?
Me.
No.
Michael Bay.
Damn.
Uh,
He'd got
Well,
that.
you know,
I
Michael
think that
Bay
would be
did
too much.
produce Tomb
I
Raider.
feel like that would be too
Yeah,
much.
I'm sorry.
Simon West directed it, but Michael Bay produced it.
Say what you will about Michael Bay. Honestly, I think he's probably would be the best director for this type of movie.
okay,
He would have
yeah,
to have
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
like
okay.
holding his hand though for when it came to the narrative structure though.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
action set pieces and everything. He would be
Look
amazing.
like Mikey,
Yeah, let me do that.
Mikey. Shut the fuck up. This
He's just
river
like, the
is
water
not gonna
stream
explode.
explodes.
Michael, that's
If-
water.
If they
It's
if they
not gonna
brought on
explode
Mi-
because a car drives.
if they brought on Michael Bay, it would be a bit of a departure from his normal style because he usually tends to get like a lot of the military men and a lot of like car shots, like modern car shots. So it'd be interesting to see his style of directing
Like-
for
Michael Bay
Uncharted.
comes on set. Michael Bay comes on set. He's like, "All right, so this temple scene is great, but you know what could use?" And they're like, "Explosions." Exactly.
Optimus Prime.
It's all part
Let's
of
have
one universe.
Optimus Prime's head carved into the temple wall.
It's all-
We
it's
need
all part of
we
one
need
universe.
we need the mothership that I was going to put in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the sword from the last night in here.
All right. Yeah. So
Michael Bay, Bob's Burgers movie.
a lot of really good,
They blow up Jimmy
Gene
Pesco's
explodes.
restaurant.
a lot of
Gene's
really
fart
good
blow up the
movies this
restaurant.
year. So yeah. Even one that I never thought I would ever see, a Clifford the Big Red Dog movie.
The fuck what?
Yes, it needs
Paramount
to be
is doing a
rated.
Clifford the Big Red Dog movie.
Oh, okay. Of course it's Paramount. Didn't they do Paddington too?
Was it
No, that was Weinstein Company actually, and then when Weinstein Company fell apart, they sold it off to somebody else. But that's yeah. And that
Paddington
movie got
never
like 10 out of
over-
10. That movie got like a lot of really good reviews.
I love Paddington.
Paddington
Never
never
seen
got
it.
over his audition with Harvey Weinstein. Though.
Well, because it led to a crippling marmalade addiction.
There's a reason he doesn't take off those boots. You'll see the heroin needle scars.
They're just full of marmalade. That's all they are.
what's
He's just injecting marmalade between his furry little toes.
and I'm looking at the Clifford the Big
Him and
Red
Winnie the
Dog
Pooh.
thing on Movie Insider. It says it's supposed to be a live action CGI hybrid, which
That's a mistake.
I think it would be much better
That's
as
already a
I
mistake.
think it'd be much better as a like Blue Skies 3D animated movie.
See, Blue Skies, they do good work.
Here's what you do: you put Samuel Jackson. You write the movie R. You make Samuel Jackson.
You make
voice
Samuel
Clifford,
Jackson Clifford.
And
Come on, Clifford. You
And
can't
then
pee
it
inside.
turns
You'll
into-
crush the TV again. Bitch, get the fuck out my way.
it turns into a Pulp Fiction spinoff.
That's what's inside the
He
briefcase.
accidentally shoots
Clifford
Emily
out the-
Elizabeth in the head, and he's got to call the wolf.
But who gets sodomized by a kid?
Pulp Fiction, but it's furries. There we go.
No, please.
You cannot
Yes.
just release those words into the universe and not expect ramifications for your actions.
You're banned henceforth. No, I don't know. This year is gonna be an interesting year for movies. So yeah,
Last year was great for movies.
last year was great for movies.
It's pretty good.
Had,
good
had
old
a lot
time.
of good movies. Avengers Endgame, Joker.
For a second, I thought he said
Knives Out.
Ender's Game. And I'm like, Ender's Game came out 10 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah. I think we can end it there with knowing that 2020 is going to have a lot of good movies, a lot of nostalgic movies too. Yeah. Yeah, we'll end it here. So it's been a good time. Guys.
Wait, isn't Mulan coming out this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I'll see it.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. So yeah, thank you everyone who has been watching in this stream. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this new style, this new format. If we get enough reaction back from it, maybe we'll keep it. We'll see how it goes. Matt, thank you for coming on. Very 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 happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So yeah, never really know how to end off these shows, so we'll just say we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you have a good rest of your week. Till next time, later.
Peace out.